Good morning, everybody. My name is Nikki Adekule. Before now, psychologists have observed massive changes in the roles that we have adopted in the families or in our families over the past 50 years, and it is across the world. And so now that the roles in our families are changing, how should the roles be split in the home between couples and the children? Who should do what? Should it be split along gender lines? And if yes, what should be embraced by each gender? And this new arrangement, how happy has it been to keep going? My name is Nikki Adekule, and I want us to discuss about changing roles in our families. And we'll go for a quick break and we'll be right back. Good morning. My name once again is Nikki Adekule, and I am a couple therapist and a relationship coach. And if there is anything that makes me happy, it is to see you enjoy a healthy relationship. Relationships can be healthy, relationships can be fulfilling, and relationships, we don't necessarily have to endure them. And in order to be able to do that, we need to learn how to make our relationships work. And if learning about your relationship is something that excites you, then you are in the right place, because yes, you are here and you'll be learning a lot about your relationship and the dynamics. Those things that we hardly talk about that affect the dynamics in our relationship. Those are the things that we would always love to talk about. Good morning, sis. Ruth Dumani, she's here with me this morning. Good morning. I see you. Thank you very much. And she said yes. Okay, good morning, good morning. So today I want us to talk about an important subject. Like I said, like I usually say, we talk about issues that are really germane here, and I want us to talk about the effect of changing roles on our relationships. The effect of changing roles. How has the roles that have been changed over time, how has it affected our relationships, and where are we on the scale of things today? Last week I remember that we talked about some of the issues that arise as a result of the financial struggles that we have in our homes. And one of those things that affects the financial stability and causes conflict in our home is the fact that roles are changing, and men do not know how this change, how they can adapt to this change. So today we are going to be focusing more on our finances, and secondly, we are going to be focusing on um, the effects of the changing roles, especially on men. Maybe next week we can talk about how it affects women, but on men today, especially, we want us to talk about how these changing roles affect men. Sometimes I think that our men, we have gotten to a point where we need to be a bit sympathetic, towards their own plight as well. People expect, we hear things like man up, where are your balls, and we push men to that point where we expect a lot from them, where we expect um, perfection of some sort from them. But are we asking if they are well equipped for what we are asking them to, what we are asking from them? Are we sure that they're equipped for whatever it is that we're asking them to do? So today I want us to talk about what effects do the changing roles have on men. Maybe by way of definition, let me say that what we're actually talking about is the roles within the home, and we are talking about what roles are men expected to take in the home. Traditionally, it used to be that men are providers. Men are, they are providers and protectors. They are the ones that go out there, hunt, come back, and provide for the family, make the family okay. And the traditional roles that women have always taken is that they are the ones that they provide the emotional climate of the home, they stabilize the home, and they are domestic generally. Most times women don't have to work because it is not expected of them to work. Yours is whatever your husband brings. You are supposed to just administer it. So you are an administrator. The women used to be administrators, but now the roles are changing within the home. Now we are discovering that men we are discovering that women are taking more active roles. Men used to be very dominant in the homes, especially in the area of finance. But now women are beginning to work as well. The advent of education makes women work as well. They work, they provide as well. And so we can't just say that these things, the fact that these things are now like this does not affect the man. And so I want us to talk about how the effect of this on men. And maybe to begin, I want to say that as human beings, generally, whether we are men or women, like I said, we are concentrating on men today, but just as a way of let's just think about this and have a robust discussion. As human beings, most of us gain our sense of identity and our sense of power through the contributions that we are able to make. And these contributions, especially if we are recognized for these contributions that we are having. And so, for a long time, men are, like I said in my opening, that men have been the dominant partners. They have been the provider. They have been the protector. They have been, and they generally get their sense of identity and sense of relevance because of the things that they do, because of these roles that they have to perform in the home. But now that, especially the financial climate of the home is changing, some women are stepping up and they are also becoming breadwinners. In fact, even if the woman is not the breadwinner, if that is not the case, sometimes the women as well, they are very active. They maybe they are even splitting the bills in the home 50-50. And even if it is 40-60, the dynamics are no longer the same. The woman is stepping up, she's having more power, she's having more voice, and she's having more recognition. And she's being, even when she goes out, let's go there. Say for instance, a man that is married to a celebrity, and you go out, she's even recognized before you. They might allow our celebrities to enter into a space and they slam the door at the husband's face. So where does this leave the man? How else can the man get a sense of identity if what primarily used to make him the man is no longer there? Um, so you know, before now, a lot of things are easier for us because traditionally, if we are going to operate our homes based on the traditional settings that we have been given, we know that the rules have been set for us, and The only thing that we need to do is just to fit in. So, a woman, you know your role, the man, you know your role, children, you understand your roles, and we just function along those lines. In fact, if your culture is not defining it, then religion is defining it for you because, yes, the wife, your own is to be this and to be that, and the husband. And so things were a bit easier and clearer for everybody. But now that everything has to be subjected to a conversation, everything has to be, subjected to negotiations. Where can a man put his feet in the home? Where can a man put his feet? Can we continue to, do we continue to advocate for, for roles to still be divided along gender lines? Should we continue to advocate for it, or is that what we should be striving to achieve? Will that work in this present day and age? And when it comes to the children as well, I just want us to just have this robust conversation before we begin to slim down on the actuals. And when it comes to the children as well, by the time the children begin to come into the picture, how should um, caring for them and nurturing them, how should it be? How should we split this role in the family now, when now that things are changing, and how can the man still have his identity? Okay, now, for instance, you are in a home and in a relationship, sorry, that your wife probably earns more, and these are subtle issues that we have in the home that we are unable to manage because sometimes we care about what the society wants, and we care about what the people will say, and we don't know how to do these things in such a way that it works for our home and in a way that we can manage conflicts. So, for instance, you are in a home that your wife earns more, and when it comes to having children, and you maybe probably you can't afford a nanny who is supposed to be resigning her job, should it still be based on gender? Is it, should we just say it's a no-brainer? The woman she's supposed to be the nurturer, or do we begin to split these roles based on on other things, other factors? Are we supposed to split these roles and base them on other factors? So these are things that I need us to consider and to know that things have changed, and things are continuing to change, and we must get to that point where we know that things cannot be how they used to be. And how do we begin to embrace the new normal? What will make me and my partner and I, what will make us happier? What would make more sense to do? Should everything just be according to the old traditional thing, or should we try to make um, you know things a bit can we begin to pay attention to the new um, to the new things that are happening around us, and those are the things that I want us to talk about. I just want to, in 1 minute, quickly look forward my video before I enter into full character. um let me Okay. um I don't think this particular network is not working properly. So okay, so now let us now let's just continue on our discussion. Like I said, men find it really difficult, and I think that we should be more empathetic to our men. They learned how to operate in the traditional setting. Most of them, their parents were probably traditionalists, and their own parents, things just operated along those lines for them. And most of them as well, that is the only example that they have set for them. And you and I know that most of us cannot function outside of the we all function inside the space that we are used to. we cannot, like they used to say, a tree cannot fall too far. I mean, a fruit cannot fall too far from the tree, which means that you can only do, the things that you have learned, the things that you have experienced, they are the things that register to you, and they are the things that you know how to do. And so most of our men, most of our men, they only know how to operate within the traditional. And they know also that things are changing, and most of them, they are beginning to be conflicted. They are conflicted because they don't know what is expected of them. A lot of times, in the same breath, where you are asking a man to man up, that is in the same breath you are asking him to. It takes balls to be vulnerable, and so he doesn't know whether it's supposed to be soft or hard. He doesn't know whether he's supposed to cry or not cry. He doesn't know whether he's supposed to, most men, they don't know whether to give room to their emotions or not. Because if they give too much room to their emotion, you might begin to call them names that they are not strong. And so the society has a lot of demands and a lot of expectations from men, which they are not necessarily equipped to do. A lot of men will have issues with, okay, my wife is the breadwinner of my home, but how do I operate within this space? Am I supposed to be your cheerleader to continue to cheer you on that, oh, babes, you're doing so well? And will your family members see me and not say that, oh, he's here because of our money? Now that he's the chair, is a major cheerleader. Or should I compete with you to ensure that I surpass you and I'm able to provide more? And these things cause a lot of issues in the home where the man, they don't know exactly how they are supposed to operate in this kind of space. What exactly are those things that are the new normal, and how should they be responding to it? Because a lot of us just give statements, we just make statements that we are unsure of how what our own expectations are as well. Because the same woman that is accusing of her husband of, you are not, you don't pay attention to me, you are not in tune with my emotions, is the same person that expects this man to be strong and to be competitive and to go out there and conquer his world. So I think we have created a lot of confusing dynamics for men, and I think that we should be more sympathetic. I was reading something recently, and it talked about the rate of suicide, and that out of all the suicide cases, there we have, it is not evenly split amongst genders. It is split, made most, I mean, the most cases of suicide that is recorded, and up to 80% is men, and the others are women. And so it means that we have gotten our men into that space where they don't know, understand how to operate. It is this same women that we come up and say things like Me Too, the Me Too movement, men, and they are confused. One minute they are there, they are trying to be strong, and the next minute they don't know. They don't know whether they are supposed to be hugging their children. They don't know whether it is okay to say that, you know what, you earn more, you go out there and begin to win the bread. Will my respect still be intact? Would I when it comes to the children, how do I operate in that space? When they have needs, do I tell my kids, go and meet your mother? Should I come to you and ask you, give me money so that I present that, I go and I give it to the children? What is really the appropriate thing? Expectations are just different for men, and from especially from where they are coming from to where they are now, things seem to be a lot confusing. So from the era where your father was the Lord and Master, he commanded respect, his personality was the lioness of the lion of the tribe of his own, and all of that, to that place where he's expected to kiss and hug his children. And another thing is that he is also not trained. to be that person that we expect him to be. He's not trained, he doesn't know how to. And so we have a lot of men that are conflicted. They do not know for sure, they don't know for certain where they should be putting their stand, where they should be tabernacling, where they should place their tabernacle. They don't know where to. And so I think that this morning, considering the fact that there is high rates, very high rate of suicide among men. I think that we should be more compassionate. And if there is anything that I want us to know is that it is true that the roles are changing, and it is true that these roles, um, there is hardly anything anyone can do to stop it. The ground is shifting from behind, I mean from underneath our feet, and it looks like, the changes are so rampant that we don't know how to operate. But I think that this should be a subject of communication, a subject of discussion in every home. This my new role, how does it make you feel? How is it okay? Because don't forget that for a woman that is winning the bread, um and goes out there every day, and and the man is at home, number one is dealing with the issue of his own ego. um am I now the wife? And society doesn't even make it easy on them. And so I think that these things should be subject to discussion. We should ask each other. We should be present with each other. We should understand that the men, sometimes, with all the things that are happening, they are finding it difficult. Next week, I'm going to talk about women, but the upper week, I'm going to be bringing a very important guest that will be talking about some other issue that you would like how we will go about it. But I think that we should recognize that men are conflicted. They are conflicted between, am I supposed, how soft am I supposed to be, and how strong am I supposed to be? When am I supposed to show that I'm strong, and when am I supposed to show that I'm not strong? When am I allowed to be vulnerable, and when am I allowed not to be vulnerable? When can, in the face of my wife and I splitting the bills, what are my new roles? And what are those things that I struggle with? For instance, you might have a man that does not care really about being able to split with chores around the house, but you may have a problem when it is done before guests. That I will do anything that I want to do when people are not there, but I get a little bit intimidated when my friends have to see that I'm the one that is doing all of this. Would it be okay? Because that is when, as women, we should now begin to understand. Until is it supposed to be in that place? No, but until he's able to go out of that place, would it just be okay if, so that he can build his confidence gradually to be able to face his friends? I think that a lot of consideration needs to we need to have a lot of consideration for our men. We need to have a lot of consideration for the way they feel, so that we are not subconsciously intimidating them and we don't know that that is what we are doing. The way I speak, the way I conduct myself. Should I be overly concerned? Should you make me should you get me into that space where I am afraid that if I do this now, it might be a problem? No, but I think that we should all get to the place where we are able to converse. We are able to converse without shame. We are able to get to that place where we don't shame men for talking about the things that they are struggling with, because when it comes to our relationships, I think that once we sign in that this person is the one that I love and the person that I have chosen, I think that to be happy and to reduce conflict in those kind of relationships, we should be in tune with each other. We should ask. We should be concerned about the things that matter to you. what matters to you. How are you coping with, whatever it is that is happening, so that we can get to that point where um, we are truly aware and we are in sync with each other's emotions. And men are not shy because you get you don't know the kind of things. That is what pushes men to the point that they feel the need to impress in such a way that they begin to do things to get attention. And so we need to be mindful that the roles that are changing is not funny on our male folk, and we should be sympathetic towards their plight, trying to understand what exactly are you feeling. The fact that I have to go out and you have to stay with the children, what does that do to you? Or make it something that a man is comfortable with, to say that, do you know what? I actually prefer to be the one in the kitchen and you be the breadwinner, because I don't have the kind of drive that you have. And if I will feel safe and I'll not feel like now you're my new master, sincerely, I don't make mind, because some of them actually don't mind taking the back seat, really. Some of them don't mind. But when we make it like the society demands too much from them, that you should be the one that is in charge of everything. Let us just make it okay for them to be who they really are. If they want to be the breadwinner, if they have the drive to be competitive and to be in the market space, why not? It's good. But if they don't have as much drive, and I'm not saying that they don't want to provide for their family, that's not what I'm talking about, but I'm saying that between the two of you, the woman is the one that is more, um, aggressive. And don't make it his fault because it's not as aggressive as you. He's doing what he's supposed to do, and that should count for something. You should not make him become better than you. That is introducing competition into your relationship. And so, if there is anything that I would want to advocate for today, is that we should understand that men come in different shapes, they come in different sizes, and they come in different forms. And so, would you want to understand the one that is with you? Would you want to understand the man that you are with? Would you want to understand his his peculiarity, his uniqueness? Would you want to understand it so that you are able to, take him for who he is, and reduce societal pressures on him? You are not the one that will now continue to, in your home, you don't continue to demand from him what society is demanding from him that he can't even cope with in the first place, so that we understand that they come unique. There are some of them that are soft, there are some of them, and it has a lot to do with their own exposure and upbringing as well. And so, if this is how you are, is it okay for me to encourage you? Even if you need growth, would I be on that journey with you to, to attain the growth that you would need? I would want to quickly look at our comments to see is anyone commenting. Let me see what they are saying on Facebook, so that because I want to begin to bring this to an end. Like I said, I don't want our sessions to be too long, and so I would just want to quickly see what people are saying, so that we can bring this to a halt. So on Facebook, on Facebook. Okay. Okay, Ni Dumadi is here. Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning. Effects of changing rules on relationship. Okay, the demands of changes are real. It's okay. Okay. I don't think I have anything that I should be attending to. I don't think there's anything I should be attending to. I don't think there's any question just yet. Okay, the identity of a man lies in his embrace of his responsibility, whatever that responsibility is. Forget tradition and stereotypes. Okay, like you said that the identity of a man lies in him being able to embrace his responsibility, no matter what the responsibilities are. Forget traditions and stereotypes. But I would also like to plead. I would also like to plead that there are demands that the society places on us and that we are not wired for. That we are not wired for. And if the society demands what you don't have it to give, then what do you do? I think that these are things that conflict people. Yes, they say that you should embrace your responsibility. Yes, and embracing your responsibility does not all only it doesn't mean that it is only your finances that your because you are the financially dominant partner that makes you embrace your responsibility. I hope I'm making myself clear. The fact that you are unable to become, that you are unable to take the lead, to be the dominant partner, doesn't mean that you are not embracing your society. I mean, your responsibility. It is only the society that demands of us that you must take the lead. And what I'm saying is that let us not introduce a dynamic in our home that would make for competition, that would now make us unreasonable sometimes, because this is why some men, their wives are obviously earning more, their wives are not good at nurturing the children, and yet they demand from her that she must be the one to stay with the children. Sometimes it's, you know, embracing these traditional roles may begin to introduce more problems. There are some men that are great when it comes to taking care of children. The only reason why they are not taking care of their own children is because of what the society is expecting from them. And that is why they would rather give up that responsibility, go to somewhere else that they are unhappy, and go and make money to support their families. But what we are saying is that we can balance this up and reduce societal pressures on ourselves and on our marriages in such a way that, yes, um, our relationship will not eventually suffer. Our relationships will not suffer simply because we are trying to please the society. And so I don't think that splitting responsibilities along gender roles is the only form of embracing our responsibilities. I think that we should be looking at something deeper. How am I wired? Who is better fit for the job? Who can do this more efficiently? I think that if we have that conversation in our homes, we'll discover that the answer will be different from one home to the other. We'll discover that, and that is why you need to understand the person that you are working with. You need to understand your own kind of, your own kind of relationship, your own kind of spouse, your own kind of partner, to be able to know what the answers are. And by doing that, you are adopting a method that works for you and suits your marriage better. Simply, instead of simply just playing it according to what the society dictates. I think that the societal dictates should not be the only thing that should guide how we do things in our home. The roles are changing, and like I said, the roles are changing, and we need to be able to find other forms of identity. Other forms of identity. What would make you happy in yourself? If I am not the dominant partner. Because, like I said, the issue that I am trying to dismantle this morning is the fact that you have to be the one that is dominant. Even if I am not the dominant partner, how do I now begin to find my footing as a man? What do I do? And I think it lies in dealing with who you are and who your spouse is. And that's where you are able to find the right balance that works for your relationship. And when it comes to, talking about, you know how finances can affect our home. I think that we need to be getting an education. We need to be getting an education, and that is why we are here. We'll try as much as possible to continue. We'll try as much as possible to continue to you know um educate you from this end. We'll try our best to this end. We'll try our best to um you know to keep um, giving you all the support that we can from our end. But it would be nice for you to also, listen to other people, take courses, just generally educate your mind. We can't continue to expect that all the information that we will need as a couple will just come to us supernaturally. We need to invest in knowledge that will help us. And if that is what you are interested in, we are a school that is interested in relationships. And what we do is relationship training. So we have a lot of courses, and you can find finance. You can find issues of finance on some of our courses. There are so many other areas that you can also get an education. And this is what we do, and our details will be dropped. If there is anything that I'm interested in helping you do, is make sure that your relationship becomes better. And those things that we hardly talk about, you get more insight into how to handle these things. And so if this has been beneficial to you, please like it, share and comment, and we'll be, reaching out to you. And on that note, I want to say thank you for being here. I appreciate you always for being here. Thank you, people on Instagram. I don't know if you're still there. Ruth Domadi is on Instagram. Femi Adekule is on Instagram. Ojio Chanya is on Instagram. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Facebook, my Facebook family, personally, everyone, thanks for always being with me here, every Saturday. And I promise that I will continue to try to up my game here and make this learning process a better one. And until I come your way again, I'll sign off now. Bye.